another weekly update video for my stock market vlog. And so first we'll look at my gain loss. So right now it's up 3,700, and I know in the last video it was at 6,000, so it's down quite a bit because on January 19th a bunch of my options expired. So the Dollarama option expired, and then the Shopify options expired, and the CLS options expired. But then I made some money from flipping the HUT call, because I sold a covered call and I bought it back because HUT dropped a lot. It dropped 59%, and I'll talk about that more later. And and then CLS. So this is a SES Long call, so CLS went up, so I sold this for a profit. So yeah, mostly it's just my gain loss is down because of the options that expired on January 19th. And so then, okay, I'll show you what my allocation is. Okay, so right now, for my stocks, my market value is actually higher than my book value. BT is still down, but Bitfarm is still down. WEED is still down, but not by a lot. FM is almost at the price that I bought, and IVN is up 28%. So I'm thinking about maybe buying more IVN if I have more capital. And NXE is about the same. Till rate is down a little bit, and then mostly it's just for HUT, because HUT I think it rose a little bit, I'm not sure, but it's still down 49%. So after HUT dropped to $9, I bought some shares of HUT for $9, but I think it dropped more after that. So yeah, mostly it's just from HUT. And then so I have a little bit less than 5,000 in cash. And then so book value, so for my call options, it's fairly safe because I've thought about it, and as long as the book value as long as the book cost for my options is less than 0, then theoretically I can't lose money in the long run. The reason for this is like this. Every time I sell an option, the book value is negative because, I'm buying a negative amount, so it's negative. And then every time I buy an option, then it's a positive book value. So if the book value is negative, what that means is that I made more money from selling short positions on options than from buying long positions on options. So for example, let's say if I sell an apple for $2, then I'm buying it for negative $2. And then if I buy an orange for $1, then the total book value is -2 plus 1, which is -1. So that's why if the book value for options is negative, then it's good. If the book value is positive, then that means I could potentially lose money. But if the book value is negative, then that means that in terms of what I own, in terms of options, I sold $4,000 more than I bought in terms of options. So I have my short positions are worth $4,000 more than my long positions. The long positions I spent money on. The short positions I get paid because I'm selling or I'm buying negative. So obviously, if the book cost is negative, then essentially I have no risk. So that's what I realized. So I don't actually have to worry about anything. So the market value is -10,000. So there's like a -6,000 unrealized gain loss. And I have to click on something because otherwise it might log me out, and then I'll have to log back in. Obviously I'd have to end the video to do that. So basically, if you look at this, if the book cost is -4,000, and then for my total long positions is up 100, and then down 2,400. So it's down 2,300 long positions in equity, and then up $4,000 in net short positions and options. So that means that theoretically my total profit should be 4,000 plus 2,000, 4,000 minus 2,300, which is 1,700. So that means that the correct book value should be positive 1,700. The reason why it doesn't show that on Webbroker is because every time I have a short position in an option, obviously I get the premium, so that turns into cash, but then I also have the same amount as a negative book value on the balance sheet. So that's why the negative 4,000 book value is actually a good thing, because if it was positive, then that means I have some risk in my, that means I have a net debit in my option position. So a negative value in the options book value means a net credit, and then a positive book value in the options allocation means a net debit. So right now I have a net credit of 4,000, which means that if the sum total of all of my options expire, then I make $4,000 effectively. So let's look at this. So ATZ long position, so it's down a little bit. BTE is a short position, so it doesn't really matter. It's a cover call, and this is a long position, and it's down because BT is down. And then BB, so BlackBerry is down a lot. It dropped 18% today, so since I'm holding 20 call options, I bought a put. I bought 2 puts in case it drops more. Because I'm probably gonna lose money on these long positions, but I'm hoping BlackBerry will go back up. But if it goes down, then I'll make some money from the put options. That's all I can really do. Like, either it goes up or it goes down. I'm hoping it goes up because obviously I have way more calls than puts, but there's no way I'm gonna buy 20 puts because that's too much risk. So I only bought 2 puts this morning because I saw the price drop 18%. And then so Bitfarm, so it's sort of a straddle. So I'm short 3 calls and then long 3 calls. So this is a net straddle. This is a straddle, and not sure what's gonna happen. It's a net credit straddle because the call is worth more than the put. Yeah, much more. And then WEED, so again, 2 short and 2 long, so that's it's a net credit, and then so these are non-standard ones. I still can't buy them back. I could wait until March 26th, until March 2026 for them to expire, but that's like more than 2 years from now. Hopefully I can buy them back before then, but otherwise it doesn't really matter either. And then okay, so I have to click on something, otherwise, you know, I have to log back in and then I have to end the video. So anyway, so CCA was holding the puts, but it kept going up, so I bought some calls too. They're very much out of the money because I didn't want to have too much of a net debit, but not sure what's gonna happen there. And Dollarama, so I have the puts and I have calls because it kept going up, so I was like, well, if the put is gonna lose that much money, then I need to buy some calls. So now it's matched, but the deltas are different. It's like obviously 92 has a much higher delta than 120. Then FM, so a bunch of short positions and a bunch of long positions. Net credit obviously, because these are short cover calls. So and then for HUT, so 3 cover calls, so 3 short positions, and then 6 long positions, but the deltas are much lower. So well, I think 4 and then 2 puts because it's dropping a lot. So I bought some puts too. That's a net debit. And then IVN has been up a lot. So since there's a short position in the call, then it looks like a minus 26% because it's a short position. But obviously I never have to buy it back, so I could wait until 2026 and then wait for it to expire. And MRU, so I was holding some puts, but it kept going up, so I bought some calls. In total, this is a net debit. But I bought way out of the money, so it's not that much debit. And then NXE, so short position, 2 long positions, but the net delta is about the same. So, because the long positions are way out of the money, and Suncor. So this is just a long position. It's been dropping a little bit, but it's I think right now it's at $42. But I think the price is fairly stable. If it drops a lot, then I might buy some long call position, some long put positions. But it hasn't dropped that much, so I think in the long term it's gonna rise. But obviously this is a net debit. And then Tilray, so negative. So I have 7 cover calls on Tilray, deep in the money, and like 11 long positions. But I think the net delta is the same. Like the delta from the short positions combined is the same as the delta for the long positions, so it's matched. So it's basically a net credit straddle. Or a counter spread, depending on how you look at it. But point is net credit, so I don't risk anything on it. And then Tilray puts, so this one I'm not sure, because Tilray, it dropped, but then it went back up, so I haven't been able to sell it off for a net profit, so I'm still holding it. Yeah, I don't know. So Tilray, if it goes down, then my puts will make money. If it goes up, then these long positions will make money. So all in all, it's all good, and my options are net credit, so I'm not actually risking anything, which is great. Because until I realized this, I was a little stressed out, but then I realized, well, if the book value for my options is negative, then that means that it's a net credit, which means that I've already made more money selling options than from buying options, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, even if all these holdings expire worthless, it doesn't matter. So that's great. But obviously for stocks, all of these are long positions. We can hold a short position in stock, but I'm not on a margin account, so these are all long positions. So yeah, this is a 2,400 unrealized loss if I were to sell it right now, which obviously I'm not going to. And so yeah, if anyone's wondering about in terms of like taxes, this is a tax-free savings account, TFSA. So I don't have to pay any taxes on capital gains unless I withdraw the money from this account. So let's say if I really needed money and I wanted to just withdraw from my tax-free savings account, what I would do is, for example, so my gain loss. So in my gain loss, it's well, for this year it's a negative, but let's say it's from whenever to whenever, and then it's positive 3,700. Then what I would do is, for example, I would buy back this, until I have a net loss, and then I wouldn't be taxed on my capital gain. So that's how you would do that. that's how I would do that if I needed to withdraw money from this account. And so my holdings, so in total book value is 47,000, market value is 38,000. But I already explained in the allocation page that it should be separate, because all the stocks, the equity positions are all long positions. So if it's a net loss, then it's a net loss. If the book value, if the market value, if the book value is anyways, I explained it. I'm not gonna explain it again because it's a little bit complicated. So it looks like on the unrealized gain loss, it looks like it's down 8,900, but that's not actually true, because the market value minus the actual market value is actually 1,700 higher than the book cost, because the actual loss is only 2,300 for equity positions, and then $4,000 net gain for option positions, if I've reasoned about this correctly. So anyways, in total I put 48,000 into this account, and right now it's at 43,500 according to this calculation. So it should be down 4,500, but it should actually be up 1,700. So what it should actually be is 49,700, if I've reasoned about everything correctly. It's just that on the web broker it tracks things a little bit differently from like what would actually happen if I were to wait until all my options expire. So it's a little bit complicated. So this bookkeeping method is correct if I were to exit all my short positions and long positions in options and sell all my stocks. I would be down 8,900. So that's what that means. And what my own calculation, so the positive 1,700, so what that means is that if all my stocks stay at the same price and I wait for all my options to expire, then I have a net gain of 1,700. So it's two slightly different ways of reasoning about things. What this says is like the instantaneous value. So at this moment, if I were to liquidate everything, how much would I have? Whereas what I'm thinking is the theoretical value. It's like basically because I'm not going to sell or buy anything for a loss. So what would happen if I waited for all my options to expire and all the stock prices are fixed at the price that they are now? And the underlying assumption for that is just that on average all stock prices go up. On average, which should be true. Obviously there will be some stocks whose value drops persistently over time, but I think the stock market as a whole, the price the average price of a stock share goes up over time. So I think all my assumptions are valid, which means that my value should actually be the theoretical value of my holdings in my TFSA should be 49,700. Anyways, so I've made 1,700 profit. Okay, so I'll just log out, and I'll talk about HUT because I don't wanna make this video longer than half an hour. So I'm just gonna wait, not Yahoo. Let's see. Yeah, Google Finance. So basically, what happened with HUT? You can see it on the graph. I showed everyone this on in my last video as well. So there's a peak at December 27, 2023 of $23, and I bought in at, I think, at $20, somewhere around here. I bought in at around $20, and then it's just been dropping since then. Right now it's at $8.50. So if you look at 6 months, it's down 62%. 1 month it's down 64%, because this was the peak and this is what it's at now. So the question is obviously what caused this, and there's been a lot of news about this. So basically what I think happened is that there was a hedge fund, because HUT isn't actually worth that much. So the market cap is only 759 million. So if a hedge fund is, worth several $billion and it decides to short HUT, it could short the HUT stock price all the way to zero, because the hedge fund just needs to have more money than the market cap of HUT. So it just needs to be able to short all of the floating shares of HUT, something like that. And then so what I think happened is that the hedge fund shorted HUT, and then said that HUT did a pump and dump, so some sort of insider pump and dump. So faked the price rise and then pulled out, so that everybody else lost money. Sort of like a pyramid scheme type of thing, because yeah, so like a pyramid scheme, and then sell at the top. So everybody buys and then they sell at the top. So that is the hedge fund story. And then obviously I don't believe that story, because obviously so what HUT said is that obviously this is highly biased and misleading, because of course if a hedge fund wanted HUT's prices to go, benefits from drop in HUT's prices, then they will make bad accusations against HUT. So that's basically what this is about. So again, I don't know what actually happened. Nobody really knows what actually happened. It could be like some sort of market manipulation.